Hi everybody and welcome back to the tasting room. We're sampling today a Scotch malt. This is Craigellachie 13 year. So a lot of the products from Craigellachie are kind of aged to these weird, these kind of oddball number of years, you know. A lot of times you'll see, a 12-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 15-year-old. Craigellachie, they've got a 23-year, they've got a 13-year, and I kind of like that because, to me, that tells me that they're aging to taste rather than to a specific number of years, and that's more the way it should be done. So this one here, this is bottled at 46% alcohol, so 92 proof, and you know how I like my proofs on a little bit on the higher side. I'm not a big fan of the 80s, even the 86s. They tend to be a little bit more watery than I'd like. Anything closer to cask strength is better for me. Okay. So right away on the nose here, I'm getting some dried fruit. Some lighter fruits like apricot. But definitely has that sweeter sherry tone. This is a Speyside, so you expect it to be a little bit sweeter, from the lighter peat and the heavier sherry casks there. There's a bit of a light herbal tone in here, almost a little bit grassy. Kind of like that. Some light spice, not a whole lot. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon lingering in there. I'm going to say a light citrus peel as well. But I really like the nose on this one. It's light, but it's well balanced. It definitely has some good character here if you sit with it and let it breathe. Okay, a rich sweet flavor here. Hits the palate with a lot of fruit. And then almost immediately we've got a good dose of baking spices emerging here. Okay, a little further in, I got a little bit of a nuttiness here, it's like some toasted almonds. And then as we move into the finish, kind of turns into a little bit of a citrus peel note right at the end there. Finish itself, medium length. Not too long, but not too short either. Definitely, has some of those lingering baking spices there on the palate. As it fades, you're left with just a hint of that citrus peel and some clove on the palate. All right, so let's rate this one here. For the nose, I thought the nose had a lot of character. Again, it was kind of light, but there was a decent amount going on there. We definitely had some of that signature dried fruit, some of those lighter fruits like apricot in there that we're used to in those sherried whiskeys. So that was nice, kind of set the tone of it. Not a whole lot of spice in there on the nose, but definitely had a little bit of an herbal tone, almost a little floral. But some grassy notes in there, and then kind of turned into a little bit of a citrus peel that was kind of pleasant actually on the nose. So I'm going to rate the nose for this one here at 23 points. On the palate, started off rich, sweet, some of those fruit notes, and then right away kind of dove right into the a heavy dose of those baking spices. There wasn't a ton of depth to the flavors in here, but I mean, it did have a couple of dimensions. Turned into a little bit of toasted almond, and then what threw me off at the end was just a little bit of that citrus peel at the end that didn't quite sit too well with me on the palate. I'm gonna go ahead and put the taste for this one at 21.5 points. The finish, again, medium length. We had a little bit of that citrus peel in there, and then there was some baking spices, a little bit of clove left on the palate. Could have done with a little bit longer finish. Was a little shorter than I wanted it to be. But all in all, not bad. We'll put the finish for this one at 20.5 points. And then the overall balance I am going to put at 21 points. And that'll leave me with an overall score of 86 points for this Craigellachie 13-year-old Scotch. Well, thanks everybody for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to hit that thumbs up button there, subscribe to the channel if you're not already a member, and then after you do, make sure you ding that little bell next to the subscribe button to make sure you get notifications of new videos that come out. New videos come out on the weekends, and I would sure hate for you to miss one, so go ahead and do that for me, and I will see you again next week, right here on The Tasting Room.